Welcome to the NTN Nightly. I'm Nisha Charles. This edition's top stories. The unemployment rate in Saint Lucia is continuing on a steady decline. An official trip to the United Kingdom secures major wins for the banana industry. The Babonneau police station receives ATV bikes to help in the execution of duties. All that plus the latest in youth development, sports, and the NTN Nouvelle Enquête. The unemployment rate in Saint Lucia is continuing on a steady decline. For the first quarter of 2019, overall unemployment was registered at 15.5% compared to 21.80% in 2018. Prime Minister the Honorable Alan Chastanet made the announcement, added that youth unemployment from January to March this year also declined from 38.78% in 2018 to 25.9%.
And if we then look at it in comparison to the fourth quarter last year, so from one quarter to the next, last quarter, which was really, I think that's October, November, and December, was at 16.2% overall, and we've dropped to 15.5%, and youth unemployment in the last quarter was 33% compared to this quarter of 24.9%.
Honorable Chastanet says the deliberate policies of the government are beginning to have the desired impact on the economic landscape. Government has been able to realize a drop in the overall deficit to under 1% while achieving a primary surplus of 2%. Prime Minister Chastanet says the decision to reduce the value-added tax rate from 15% to 12.5% has proven sound.
The projection, even by the IMF, was that we were going to lose revenue of $55 million. Well, the first year we only lost revenue of $15 million, and by last year we already had recovered that entire amount of money. But what I was explaining was it was not just the VAT tax. By reducing the VAT tax, what it did, it encouraged people to open up businesses, but more importantly, we argued this point that the money that we saved on VAT would either be passed to the consumer in the reduction of cost of products, and when you look at the inflation rate, some of that happened. But even if the businesses kept that difference, it would improve their bottom line. The first time in the history of St. Lucia that the government of St. Lucia has collected $1 billion, it's actually $1.1 billion in taxes. What we did is we created new taxes, and we didn't allow those new taxes to go into the central coffer. So when we say that we've taken the gas tax and we've lockboxed it, so it means that the money that we're generating, which is about $30 million EC a year, is going to now help finance this capital roadworks we're doing.
And that was Prime Minister the Honorable Alan Chastanet. A recent trip to the United Kingdom culminated in some major wins for the banana industry. This as key leaders in the subsector ventured on a week-long market access mission aimed at forging new partnerships and broadening St. Lucia's market share for bananas. Here's Amanda Faye Clark.
The delegation comprising the Prime Minister, Honorable Alan Chastanet, the Agriculture Minister, Honorable Ezekiel Joseph, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Barrymore Felicia, the Manager of the National Fair Trade Organization, Mr. Stephen Best, and the Coordinator of the Banana Productivity Improvement Project, Mr. Kurt Severin, led what they now report was a very successful trade mission where they were able to not only reinforce strategic relationships with key stakeholders in the retail industry, but also capture the interest of new markets, namely the French market. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Barrymore Felicia, says, quite apart from receiving positive feedback from the French representatives and the London-based supermarket chains such as Waitrose and Sainsbury, he is elated that St. Lucia bananas will now be exported to this new territory.
What we wanted to achieve during that mission was to get the context and the constraints and challenges faced by those stakeholders on receipt of our bananas, and to as well give some idea of what the St. Lucian context is, what our farmers have to deal with on ground, and what we do to produce quality bananas.
Mr. Felicia adds that the recent action plan for banana export does include provisions for branding, a key element to ensure the sustainable presence of our banana in these new territories.
We had a very successful mission. We were able to get the commitment of the French to receive some of our bananas. In fact, we have a trial shipment going on now, and we have some sort of commitment from Waitrose in terms of branding, assisting in the branding of our bananas. So all in all, we had a very successful mission.
Manager of the National Fair Trade Organization, Stephen Best, says this is a huge gain for all farming constituents because under these new arrangements, an avenue has opened up to allow export of other crops.
Possibility of exporting more fruits, because with the focus of the government in terms of productivity and expanding production, there is definitely a need to have the outlet. So this mission to the UK provided us this opportunity to interface with the key players in the market, to deepen the collaborative process and see how this can redound to the benefit of our farmers in terms of not only producing the fruits, but being able to market in accord with the dictates of the market in terms of quality and specifications and things of that nature. So certainly the mission is returning to Saint Lucia with good news.
Meanwhile, the first trial shipment of bananas to the French market was completed this week. Honorable Ezekiel Joseph explains that while his government is committed to ensuring wider market access to our farmers, it is contingent on the farmers themselves to do what is necessary to keep their production levels consistent and at a standard which is competitive.
As a government and as institutions, we have the responsibility to provide that our support, and we have been engaging Windfresh as to what are the possibilities, and that's why we felt it was important to go up to the UK to at least interact as a government under the leadership of the Prime Minister as a government, and that's giving a clear indication as to the interest of the government.
The presence of Saint Lucian bananas on the French market is an indication of the opportunities which lay ahead in the Agriculture Ministry's mission to restore and augment the banana economy. 1,000 boxes of bananas will be exported weekly over the next 3 weeks. Once these trial shipments have been completed and accepted, it is agreed that 3,000 boxes of bananas will be shipped weekly to the French market. From the Information Unit of the Ministry of Agriculture, I am Amanda Faye Clark reporting.
In an effort to drastically reduce the country's exposure to the impacts of natural disasters, the government of St. Lucia has been implementing several initiatives under the Disaster Vulnerability Reduction Project, the DVRP. Hundreds of stakeholders recently gathered at the Choiseul Secondary School for the formal handover of 2 climate-resilient blocks by the Department of Economic Development to the Department of Education, courtesy the DVRP. Communications Officer for the DVRP, Lucius Doxery, tells us about another very important project that will positively impact hundreds of residents in Castries Southeast.
Several small contractors are about to implement slope stabilization and drainage works in a flood mitigation program earmarked to bring much needed relief to residents of Castries Southeast. Project consultant Lester Arnold, tasked with producing detailed designs for the work, says the Disaster Risk Reduction Initiative, particularly for residents of Mark, Bexar and environs, is timely, given the traumatic experiences which they have faced over many years whenever it rains heavily.
This was a project that started about 12 months ago, whereby we first met with the community of Bexar and environs, persons who were affected by continuous flooding whenever there are any heavy rains, and we came up with the different interventions because they gave us the information. We went out, we did the site visits with them, we looked at all of the persons who had complaints, we assessed it, we prioritized them, and we are at the phase now whereby all of the designs have been completed for those interventions, and we're now looking to go to construction. We've met with the contractors. We have indicated to them what is the requirements of filling out those tenders, because it is a World Bank project which needs to be tendered.
Potential contractors comprising males and females were taken to every location where projects will be implemented. During the excursions, contractors were provided with detailed information on the specific interventions for the particular area.
So we have a mixture of concrete line drains in areas that are virtually without any form of proper drainage, whereby you would have just had an earthen drain existing that would be heavily vegetated. We have slope stabilization for areas that are threatened from landslides and whatnot, and in that you will see interventions of different retaining structures, whether it be reinforced concrete retaining walls, gable basket retaining walls, masonry, retaining walls, and even ripraps. So these are the forms of interventions that we're looking at. We do have some bioengineering to a certain extent, whereby after the areas have been sloped properly, or whatever the case may be, glory cedar trees will be planted along the riverbanks and whatnot to help with the slope stabilization.
In addition to the site visits, all prospective contractors attended capacity building workshops, purposed to better equip them to deal with the tendering process. The workshops also provided additional opportunities to seek clarification on any matters related to the upcoming projects. Key to the long-term sustainability of the projects is a maintenance schedule.
What we've noticed in the past is that once you have a project that is community-based and persons buy into the projects, you have a better maintenance schedule in place, in the sense that they've bought into it, they know it's for their own good and whatnot, and you'll see them participating in the maintenance of the drains in terms of clearing the drains, making sure that it doesn't get silted up and things of that sort. Because this is not the first time we've done it. We've done it under another project called Mosaic Program, whereby communities were presented with small hand tools, and in the event of any torrential downpour, whatever silting that would happen, you'd find persons would come out and clear those drains and whatnot. So we're doing the same thing for this project, whereby small hand tools, namely forks, pickaxes, shovels, wheelbarrows, and things of that nature will be provided to the communities.
The EC$6 million slope stabilization and drainage projects under the DVRP are expected to last for 6 months and will generate employment for scores of residents in the targeted communities. Other communities expected to benefit from similar initiatives include Miko North and the Denry Village. Lucius Doxery, Department of Sustainable Development.
And this is the NTN Nightly. Ryan O'Brien is up next.
Climat la terre ka chanje, ek sa ka affecté nous toutes. Cyclone ka veni plus mauvais, gros de l'eau ek la pan de l'eau ka détruit animaux ek plan. Quand la mer ka veni plus chaud, et ka tué place qui se poisson nas la ka habité. La mer chaud ka aussi changé manière se poisson ka quitter yon côté et aller à l'autre côté. Cette liste a contribué en petit gaz en l'espace. Quand un petit pays, nous avons essayé de faire tout ça nous a fait pour assurer que nous baisser à sous quantité de gaz nous a servi pour empêcher la terre à venir plus chaud. Il faut pour baisser à sous quantité de gaz nous a servi, c'est mitigation. Le climat a changé. Il a changé depuis nous tout au niveau de la terre, brûler gaz, l'huile et charbon. Et ça a en cause la terre à venir à chaque plus chaud. Ça nous ne pouvons faire tout moment, c'est pour adapter. Fait tout ça nous a fait pour préparer et répondre pour ces conséquences négatives à la cause du changement climatique. Nous tous, ça fait quelque chose. Par exemple, nous pouvons assurer que nous protéger tout ça nous avons planté. Servir fumier qui est naturel. Bâtir nous pour abattre des dommages en temps cyclone et gros de l'eau. Construire canal pour de l'eau courir bien comme il faut. Et assurer que le canal là pas désordre. Faire tout ça qui est possible pour vivre en temps de changement climatique. Trouver plus d'informations à ce plan d'adaptation national gouvernement et des démarches ou même ça prend pour protéger le corps et tout l'autre satellitien.
Welcome back. We join Ryan O'Brien for the latest happenings in youth development and sports.
I'm Ryan O'Brien and welcome once again to your update on happenings from the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports on the NTN Nightly News. 2 more matches were completed as the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports Secondary Schools Under-15 40-over cricket tournament continued on Thursday. At the Grozile playing field, St. Mary's College, led by a maiden century from national Under-15 player Darren Sammy Jr., completed a dominant performance against Cicero Secondary, winning that game by 252 runs. St. Mary's College, batting first, made an imposing 291 for 1 in 23 overs, with Sammy Jr. stroking a brilliant 146 not out, comprising 11 fours and 8 sixes. Michael Jebattis made a valuable 68 before he was forced to retire. His knock included 12 fours. Stephen Abraham was the only batsman dismissed for 12. In reply, Cicero Secondary found a going tough against St. Mary's College seam attack and were bowled out for 39 in 12.3 overs, with Kensley Paul, 14, the only batsman to reach double figures. The leading wicket takers for St. Mary's College were Jason Justin with 3 for 17, Captain Jindal Cyril 2 for 1, and Denzel Frederick 2 for 2. At the Larry Suits playing field in the Marbella Valley, Archiport Secondary, led by another clinical bowling performance, defeated Clendon Mason Memorial Secondary by 9 wickets. Clendon Mason Memorial batting first, dismissed for 30 in 9.3 overs, with Anthony Evans making 12. The chief wicket takers for Archiport Secondary were Royce Paul with 4 for 3, Toyley Charles 2 for 2, Zayda James 2 for 15. In reply, Archiport Secondary easily overhauled Clendon Mason's score, finishing on 31 for 1, with Zayda James remaining on 60 not out. Verquan Estefan was the sole wicket taker for Clendon Mason. A perfect balance is possible between sports and academics. That's a takeaway District Education Officer District 1 Cyrus Sepal wants to leave with parents and students following the completion of the Inter-District Primary Schools Female Football Competition. Mr. Sepal feels it's important that this concept is widely embraced for the holistic development of children.
So in the early stage, even at the primary level, we can make them understand that. And even, for example, I don't subscribe to the view that if the child is in grade 6, then they cannot come to participate in sports. No, all that is part of the development. So if we can get them to understand, and they have to strike a balance, they know how much time for the sports, how much time for the academics, and how they can marry the two, and then get them to experience success in all aspects of life, then we will understand this.
It is anticipated that next year's competition will attract greater interest among the competing education districts. The Embassy of the Republic of China Taiwan continues its support of table tennis in Saint Lucia through a new volunteer coach, Roslyn Lee. She will serve as the only female table tennis coach in Saint Lucia for the next year. The embassy presented a 29-year-old to the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports on Tuesday this week. The Taiwanese volunteer told the media she looked forward to the full Saint Lucian experience while coaching.
Well, the personality is very bubbly, so the kids embraced her immediately. We had a 4-year-old there as well, and she engaged the 4-year-old and did stuff with the 4-year-old, which was kind of exciting to see. Being able to transition between all the different age groups and hold her own. She also worked with some of the better juniors we have, and we did sparring. I had sparred with some, she sparred with some, and then it was very intense. So the national juniors had a very intense workout yesterday with her, so it was very good.
Lee replaces volunteer coach William Lien, who ended his volunteer service last year. Deputy Permanent Secretary at the Ministry, Leota Charlemagne Mason, expressed appreciation to the Taiwanese for their continued support of table tennis in St. Lucia.
Bonjour, ça café. Yes, I'm Roslyn I'm Roslyn, an international volunteer from Taiwan. I have been a member of table tennis varsity since I was a child, and I'm going to promote this exciting and healthy sport around the island. It's nice to live in such a beautiful Caribbean island. I hope I can learn more about different type of culture and continue promote a friendly relationship between Taiwan and Saint Lucia. Thank you, merci. Thank you.
The introduction of a female table tennis coach on island means that the ministry can now dispense the full spectrum of coaching in the sport. That's all for you this week on Youth Development and Sports. I'm Ryan O'Brien.
Thanks, Ryan. The Babonneau Police Station has received 2 ATV bikes to aid in serving and protecting the community.
Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries, Physical Planning, Natural Resources and Cooperatives, and Parliamentary Representative for Babonneau, Honorable Ezekiel Joseph, with the support of business people from the community, on Thursday donated 2 ATVs to the Babonneau Police Station. The minister indicated that without adequate resources, policing such a large constituency with rough terrain is difficult. As a result, the minister and the Babonneau community thought it fitting to contribute to the police resources.
I'm doing this because the reviews that we are getting from residents in Babonneau is very encouraging. I can tell you, since the opening of this police station, And recently, the opening of the fire station, residents are satisfied with the type of support that they are getting from our officers. And through you, Commissioner, Acting Commissioner Daisy, I want to express on behalf of the residents of Babono, thank you, Inspector Bradley, for the work that you're doing in Babono.
Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs, Justice and National Security, Ricky Quinlan, expressed gratitude for the gesture. He indicated that such partnerships are crucial to the development of a community and a country as a whole. Acting Police Commissioner Milton Daisy explained that the ATVs will go a long way in assisting the police in delivering protective service. He also encouraged the police officers to exercise proper use and care of the motor vehicles.
The public is expecting you to take care of them, handle it properly. It was given to serve them. The service that they require, which they believe they were shortchanged, they have made it themselves to give you one of the things that government's supposed to give you. And said, hey, government cannot make it, we are making it. So we would like to know. I wouldn't like to get a call. So that is one of the stations that I'm not expecting a call from for reporting officers. For I made a report and then I have not seen an officer and so on. So that, Mr. Bradley, I believe that is, although I'm getting good reviews from Babono, however, you still get the instances where persons are saying that we did not get the good response, or officers say they come in, we never see them, and so on. So I believe that is one of the things that would be eliminated.
Businesswoman and concerned citizen Frances Severin also made a donation to the Babono police in the form of CCTV cameras. She explained that the police officers, while trying to protect the public, are in need of protection themselves, and the CCTV cameras will assist in doing just that. Inspector in charge of the Babono police station, Terry Bradley, expressed gratitude for the donations and reaffirmed the police commitment to ensuring the safety of all.
Indeed, the ATVs will go a long way in assisting the police in traversing the difficult terrain of Babono. And like the Commissioner said, it is an all-terrain vehicle, so it will also assist in traversing the paved road. And I must say, Babono has some real nice road. 5 years ago, under the leadership of Ronald Phillip, this station was opened with the premise of working together with the people of Babono to make it a safer place. This, I assure you, is the focal point of our daily duties as we strive to provide a professional service for the people of Babono.
Officers of the Babono police station will be trained and provided the requisite licenses to utilize the ATVs efficiently. For the Government Information Service, I am Janelle Norville.
And stay with the NTN Nightly. Up next, Primus Hutchinson is here with the NTN Nouvelle Creole.
Small household electrical appliances, when faulty, can give rise to big problems. If you have just purchased a small appliance from a store and you are concerned about the safety of the item, or an appliance has been at home for some time subjected to wear and tear from regular usage, have it tested by the Saint Lucia Bureau of Standards. It is better to be safe than sorry.
For more information, contact the Saint Lucia Bureau of Standards at 456-0546 or email slbs@candw.lc. or visit the website at www.slbs.org.lc. Saint Lucia Bureau of Standards, making quality and standards our way of life.
Welcome back. We join Primus Hutchinson for the NTN Nouvelle en Creole.
Monsieur, Madame, département qui est responsabilité pour information en gouvernement Saint Lucie, GIS. Ensemble avec télévision nationale pays NTN, capacitou Nouvelle Creole, positou Primus Hutchinson. Organisation nationale pour ménagement des as, en Saint Lucie, ça c'est Nimo, te tient un jour atelier en Hôtel Bay Gardens, vendredi, pour engager tous les représentatifs des secteurs à pays concernant les meilleures façons pour fermer opération si en cas de désastre national. Comme nous avons préparé pour approcher ces cyclones-là encore, ces diverses agences CPA ont assemblé pour suivre sa valeur concernant les meilleures directions pour adresser cette situation-là. Madame la responsabilité pour l'organisation, pour le président, Doreen Gustave, expliquer façon de conduite pour attirer ça là.
Nous avons tous ces gens qui nous besoin en chambre la hodia pour dire nous qui ça yo toi qui pas qu'à travailler manière supposé ces gaps là ça nous besoin fermer pour nous ni en policy qui les nous ni place là fermer tout le monde à ce même level là nous ka fermer place là à laisser là avec toute bagaille qui fait à la manière parce que c'est pas ni mot qui a dit qui mané pour faire rodia nous ka joindre toutes ces partenaires noirs nous ka dit pour venir dire ça ou toi qui pas travailler bien et qui mané nous peut faire travail primaire.
Madame Gustave déclaré qu'à présent PPA qu'après a fait des actes plus sérieux qu'avant.
Mais parce que yo ja quantité bagay qui ka fait avec Dominique avec différents places yo ka coûter ti met plus les nous dit OK cyclone ka vini qui ka approché ça pour faire ou ka taper plus moun dans ce supermarché c'est tout plus moun ka la garder pour bagay pour faire préparation mais ça nous connait mo ka dit pour toujours préparer parce que si pas préparé c'est là où ni pour faire préparation en l'air ça pas bon.
L'argent mis en place un programme pour établir protection à l'école projet ça là qui fait au ministère de l'éducation en pays comme Antigua avec Barbuda, Barbade, Dominique, Saint-Kitts, Saint-Nevis, Saint-Vincent avec les Grenadiers etc. C'est pour embrasser diverses manières pour ménager ça qui risquable en affaire des as. C'est une initiative ça là qui a renforcé la capacité des secteurs éducation en plan et opération. Le programme là a trouvé assistance finance par Banque de Développement Caraïbe et Agence de management des as à Caraïbe, CDMA. Les consultants étaient en PIA pour une discussion. Et puis même comité qui est responsable pour protection à l'école et qui c'était les officiers d'éducation, les polices et le ministère de la Santé. Coordinateur pour le projet, Bonez Kodra, qui consultation qui a aidé pour développer web pour établir une bonne protection pour l'école à cette ci devant des as. Assistant de finances pour le programme Salaka qui sorti Banque de développement Caraïbe en bas Afrique, Caraïbes, Pacifique, les lieux Europe, déménagement 8 à des as naturels dans le programme CPI Carry Forum. Il y a aussi Greg Desias, un ministère de l'Agriculture, qui est responsable pour recherche à façon qui plan à développer. Ça, c'est M. Luc Emmanuel. J'abaye les cultivateurs assurance là qui projet qui commençait pour tester terre agricole à ce propriétaire qui a porté un lourd bénéfice économique pour l'activité agricole. Durant la discussion à ce programme agricole en mouvement, M. Emmanuel expliquait qualité bénéfice ça a porté pour les farmers et les cultivateurs en pays. Selon Emmanuel, les ont marché ces premiers tests là et testé en lab, ils ont découvert ces nourritures qui étaient à marché et qui laissent un yo qui a plus un bénéfice pour ces derrière qui les farmers qui produit par exemple yoni pour déterminer qualité traitement yoni brisé si eh bien il est trop en yon ces qualité nourriture ça là
est-ce que si t'es à si
c'est ça qui est important actuellement.
Oui, c'est ça qui est important. Bon, terre si c'est acid soil. Bon, en terre si même, ou qu'à attraper un chay problème. Because terre, les tout acide, c'est problème. Tout alkaline, c'est problème. Ça veut dire que terre, ça va créer neutral point.
En mi-temps.
En mi-temps. Pour neutral point là, laisse tout ça qui est pour faire, ça fait plus meilleur. L'été assis, ou tu as payé date, même si une nourriture là, il pas qu'à avaler pour ces plans, ça, point, on va joindre. So, on est pour travailler terre et puis la chaud, right? On est pour servir la chaud en terre pour lever pH là, so that then, laisse ces nourritures qui avaler pour ces plans.
Emmanuel a suivi aussi, malgré ces informations ça là, qui à sous computer. Les cultivateurs qui ont trouvé toute information concernant les recherches terre, ils ont les officiers extension. Mais il a conseillé que depuis qu'on est toute nourriture terre ni brisée et que tout est bien, d'avoir obligé de performer.
Bon, ou bien outiller un plan ou qu'attraper date. J'ai bête qui a perdu.
D'accord.
C'est une situation moins même a expérience avec tamados.
D'accord.
Because mettez plein de tamados là dans un pH qui était plus haut passé 6. Il était about 7.2. Et puis moi de tamados ça si moi tenais pour occuper bête 10 coups de spray, c'est tout moi tenais pour faire.
Wow.
Aussi tout, yo ka dire plus le harvest li, il ka ni what ça va créer un longer shelf life.
Ouais.
Oui, il a plus en santé, so il a duré plus, il pas pourri vite. So tout c'est l'avantage ça qui a dedans, qui a assuré that on est terre pH là correct, nourriture nous besoin terre il là.
Monsieur madame, ça c'est côté nous trois bout nouvelle là, moi quand monsieur autant pour regarder et moi quand une invitation pour joindre puis moi encore si de conserver la vie dans un présent l'autre nouvelle à Créole. Je souhaite tout le monde un bon fin de semaine et qu'après ça, je vais présenter encore Nisha.
And that brings us to the end of the NTN Nightly. Join us next time at 7 p.m. with a repeat at 7 a.m. You can also catch up with us anytime on the Saint Lucia Government Facebook page or YouTube channel. I'm Nisha Charles.